Thank you for tuning in to War Room Gwinnett County. I'm your host, Antonio Jones. Had to come on here tonight and do this emergency broadcast. I saw some posts on social media about Trump and DeSantis. Now, Trump came out and made a statement about Ron DeSantis and his governorship. And I believe he made this statement because DeSantis I guess he was on television or something, and he was asked by the host, was he planning on running in 2024? So he kind of dodged the question, which is, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Trump got wind of it, obviously, and got offended by it. So in this particular statement, he kind of said some things about Ron's governorship that I really didn't agree with. It was kind of loose. I think Ron DeSantis has done a great job as governor. But from Trump's aspect, I believe what he was thinking was if somebody asks you if you're running for president and I'm responsible for help getting you the governorship in Florida, what you look like running against me, trying to knock me off of the throne when I helped you get on. Like I said, I don't agree with some of the statements that he made about Ron DeSantis's governorship because, truth be told, Ron's done a great job. But I also want to speak to some of the things that I've been seeing on the internet regarding, hey, let's move on. Trump's too old and all of this stuff. Come on, guys. We know Trump's a loose cannon, but this presidency is based on policies. We starting to take our eye off the ball on what's really important. He's always been a loose cannon, and that's what it is. That's just his personality. There's some things I wish he wouldn't say most of the time, but the reality is he was a great president for the time he was in there. He probably could have did twice as much if he wasn't getting attacked by Washington. They wasn't used to someone coming in, looking into the things, trying to actually get things done for the people. And one of the things that he said before he got officially into office, that his focus and goal was to return the power to the people. We can't forget about that. Now, when it comes to him or DeSantis, I don't think we should have to choose on that right now. I think that Trump would be a great president for another 4 years to finish up the job that he started. And then we can have another 8 years from Ron DeSantis after him. For those people that think that this is going to get quiet because Donald Trump's not running or whatever, oh, go take a seat, you are mistaken. That's to say that these people are going to stop coming after your children, stop trying to ruin our energy, stop driving up inflation. That's not going to stop. It's not going to get quiet. And right now, to me, I think that Trump he can be a little bit of a wild man, a wild beast with his speech, but his policy is on cue. So I think we'll do well with another 4 terms of Trump. We can't get caught up in the distraction and get caught up in the weeds of this right now, because people are online saying that he divided the party. Yeah, he divided the party. You know how he divided the party? You got a set of people that's for the people, and you got another set of people in Washington that's a uniparty. The old guard, the Wall Street guys that's connected with them, that's only interested in doing things in their best interest and driving up profit for them and not the people. So he did divide the party. But the man went out here, spent this time doing all these rallies, and he helped a lot of people get in office, including Glenn Youngkin. And the statement Winsome Sears got on Fox and said it's crazy. The man helped you get your governorship. What are you talking about? Because he's old. Look how old Pelosi and some of the rest of them are. That you gonna make a public statement about that? But this ain't got nothing to do with age. People don't like to feel uncomfortable. And that's what's going on in these schools down here in Georgia too. People don't want to feel uncomfortable. And I did a video about, what's going on with the Georgia schools up here in Gwinnett County. When you have to push and go hard, that's when the rub begins. And people don't want to get into that space. They just want, business as usual. Again, is everything that Trump do I agree with? Absolutely not. He can be off on some things. I don't agree with the jab. But he also said that the jab is something that people should have the right to refuse or to get it if they want it. In other words, not a forced injection. Just for the record. I'm not defending what he said. What I'm defending is his policies have been great for this country. And it would be great if he could get back in there for another 4 years, finish up what he started, correct some of the mistakes that he made while he was in there. Maybe he didn't fire enough people. Maybe he should have really, really cleaned house. Look what the FBI and the DOJ is doing right now to people. We could have Trump for another 4 years and DeSantis for another 8 after that. That's another 12 years of greatness. But we can't be getting divided and jumping off the ship because he said something we ain't like. That's just who Trump always been. We don't have to condone it, but when he starts slipping on the policies that he making, which affects us down here on a local level. That's why I'm doing this on this War Room Gwinnett County page. Because who's up there in that White House running the country and the policies, that trickles all the way down to the local municipalities. It does. So we got to remember how great of a president he was. Right now, out in people talking all this stuff about we didn't have a big red wave and all this stuff. Man, look, there's information about these elections. People don't want to look into the details because they think it's hokey when somebody say, oh, the election wasn't fair. There's information coming out right now that Herschel Walker had 26,000 votes taken away from him last night. Did you know that? Florida has, I don't know how many times the people than Arizona has, but Arizona can't seem to finish their count. Think about it, folks. See, people done forgot. Nobody looked into the election. Nobody looked into the evidence that was being presented. Everybody just kind of moved on and forgot about it. If you don't have fair and free elections, you don't have a country. That's just the bottom line. And I know you've heard it before, but that's just the facts. Look at what's going on out in Arizona. You don't think no shenanigans was going on with these elections? I'm actually surprised that so many people won. I really am. But that goes to show you, just like up in Virginia, the MAGA vote came out and represented and to help Glenn Youngkin get across the line. And Winsome Sears get across the line. And she got the audacity to go on Fox News and say, let's move on. We got to move on because he getting too old. What about the policies and things like that? Can he do the job? That should be the main question. We getting distracted. We getting yeah, it's time for him to go. No, I don't like what he said. I don't like what he said. Is his policies right? That should be the bigger question.